and then how can you be a father and then a baby father like 10 different women? It's impossible.
I wouldn't say it's impossible.
Now look at the black community don't need that.
To be clear, I'm not saying go be reckless, but I'm saying those who are actually in a position to be able to provide and be able to give that.
Tell me what you think that is.
So
what is that for you?
I'm not saying that Nick Cannon is like the role model.
Nick Cannon is the worst.
But he also not marrying nobody.
This is why I think he's the worst. It's not about having sex with a lot of women. Right. I don't care. Go do that. I believe that a man or a woman should not spread himself so thin or herself so thin where you cannot be in this child's life.
What's good, YouTube? This is KB LaFleur. You can call me KB. Welcome back to another video, man. They're pretty much talking about Nick Cannon at this point. They're talking about Nick Cannon, man. But we got, man, tonight's conversation, and the question is, can you be a great father all while having 10 plus kids in different households? I can tell you right now, no, you cannot. No, you cannot. We got to talk about this shit, man. We got to talk about this, bro, because a lot of people are taking this be fruitful and multiply a little overboard, man. But let's go ahead and get into it, man. So, man, you have Nick Cannon. Let's go ahead and talk about it. We have Nick Cannon, because I don't think I've ever really talked about Nick Cannon on this channel. But Nick Cannon, he's on his 12th kid right now, right? And I believe he has like a bunch of baby mamas. I done lost count. A bunch of baby mamas, 12 kids. So a lot of people are very much upset because of this, right? Now, if we're talking about biblically, men have multiple wives. Men have multiple wives. It's the same situation with Nick Cannon. Men have multiple wives, right? But they all lived in the same area. They all lived in the same area. A guy didn't have one wife over here in Alaska, another wife over here in Georgia, another wife over here in India, another wife over here in Africa. No, they were all together. We have Nick Cannon here, who literally has kids scattered pretty much on all four corners of the earth. He has kids everywhere, everywhere. And it's detrimental to these families. Number one, top reason, because you can't have, not just number one off rip, having a kid fares better in a 2-parent home rather than a 1-parent home. We know this. We know this. But yet, hey, Nick Cannon said, forget all of that. That's number one. Number two, you're not going to be able to spend time with your kids like you should. You're not going to be able to give that father and son or that father and daughter time like a man would give to his 2 kids that he have up under his household. You can't. It's going to be hard. Now, it's a different story if he was able to have them all up under one roof and all about 1 or 2 women, maybe. But dog, this dude has numerous of kids by numerous of women in different area codes. It's just not going to work. So some of your kids are going to be deprived of an actual father. And Nick Cannon not understanding this, where you're messing households up. Now look, Nick Cannon ain't the only problem here. You have Nick Cannon impregnating 6 to 7 women. You have Nick Cannon impregnating 6 to 7 women. These women are choosing to be single mothers. Like I said, we could talk shit about Nick Cannon all we want, but let's be honest. A lot of these women are putting themselves in that situation. A lot of these women are understanding that they're going to be single mothers, but they are fine with that. They are fine with that. And this is the type of culture that we're living in. Women embrace the single mother culture. Because he got a lot of money. I'm going to still have his kid. At this point, you're just being open about it. You're just being open to being a single mother. They weren't doing this back in the day, bro. They weren't doing this back in the day. You got all these women sitting up here saying, I'm willing to have your kid. And I understand I'm gonna be a single mother, but that is fine, because I can find somebody else to come take care of this little baby. You don't gotta take care of him. I just know you're gonna give me some money because, hey, why not? And it's very detrimental. It's very detrimental.
It's just the same as men who literally birth their seed into a lot of women, and then how can you be a father and then a baby father like 10 different women? It's impossible.
I wouldn't say it's impossible. Now look at
the black community don't need that.
To be clear, I'm not saying go be reckless, but I'm saying those who are actually in a position to be able to provide and be able to give that.
Tell me what you think that is.
So
what is that for you?
And
though?
I'm not saying that Nick Cannon is like the role
Nick
model.
Cannon is the worst.
But
Why
he
would you
also
do
not
that?
marrying nobody.
This is why I think he's the worst. It's not about having sex with a lot of women.
Right.
I don't care. Go do that. I believe that a man or a woman should not spread himself so thin or herself so thin where you
I'm with you
cannot
there.
be in this child's life. How much hours can this child get when you have literally California, Barbados, Virgin Islands, Jamaica?
And she's speaking facts. She's speaking absolute facts, bro. Listen, man, look. He owns some responsibility. These women own some responsibility too. But when it comes down to Nick Cannon, bro, you fucking it up. We're talking about Nick Cannon. He's fucking it up. These kids are not going to have the father figure that they really need. You're gonna sit up here, well, you know what? Hey, what's up, little Timmy? Hey, Dad. Are you gonna be down here with me for this week? Timmy, you know you only get 1 day out of the week. You know you only get 1 day out of the week. Your other brothers and sisters, they need me too. Fuck! I mean, I've only seen you once a week. When can I get some time for me and you? Huh? When can you take me out of here and do this and do that? I want to be able to do this constantly and not just 1 day out of the fucking week. Well, you know what? I'm sorry, I can't. I don't know what to tell you. I got other kids I gotta take care of, right? You're depriving that kid, man, of a real father. I'm gonna just be honest with you. You're depriving that kid of a real father. But once again, blame the women because they're allowing this. Nick Cannon does not have kids with these women unless these women tell him, no, you cannot have you're not going to be laying in bed with me. If these chicks sit up here and say, hey, yo, Nick Cannon, nah, bro, I'm looking for somebody, man, that's willing to take care of me and my kids. Not just sit over here and drop a seed off and give me some money and just call it a day. My son or my daughter needs a father figure. They need one. But once again, we live in a generation, we live in a society, man, where being a single mother is encouraged. Point blank, period. Being a single mother is encouraged. But once again, as far as Nick Cannon, you're depriving your kids of a real father. That's all there is to it. But there ain't really much else you can say about it. He's depriving his kids of a real father. That's all it boils down to. And as far as women, man, just because the nigga got some money don't mean you can just sit over here and just let him just bust the club open, man, and shoot the club up. Like, come on, man. This is where having a little bit more self-respect comes into play. Because I hope y'all know all of these women that are having Nick Cannon kids, they are just showing you that they do not care about the well-being of their kid. They're showing you that money is more important than their kid. That's a fact. Because when you have a kid with some of these damn celebrities, you're entitled to their money. Either you can go to the court and get it, or you can talk to the niggas and get the money. They know that they're going to be set. So they are literally willing to be single parents because of the status of their baby father. That's literally all that is. And they are, just like Nick Cannon, they are actively making sure making sure they don't have a father figure in their life. Y'all do me a huge favor, man. Leave me a like, leave me a comment, leave me a subscribe.